Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, y'all? Trent Small, the chef, aka Red Specs. I'm in the building with my co-host Papa Wolf, aka Alpha Moon, and this is Food for Thought, man. Y'all know what this is, man. Yeah. Live every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. We'll be discussing food, music, and the truth. Streaming on all platforms, including Spotify for podcasters, man. And when we say let's go, let's get into it, D.
A new year calls for a new kind of podcast. Live every Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so we're going to get into tonight's guest, man. Yes.
Yeah, they's in it.
So tonight's guest, a member of the former Salsa trio, Dark Latin Groove, DLG. The group was formed in New York. The music has a blend of salsa, reggaeton, and hip-hop. Welcome, 3-time Latin Grammy nominee and Emmy winner, James the Barba on the show, man. What's up?
So we were nominated for 3 regular Grammys. 3 regular Grammys. We won a Latin Grammy.
Let's get it right, Jay. Let's get it right.
That's it. Yeah.
And about 5 billboards. 5 billboards, whatever. So accolades and all that.
Talk. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was chasing that check, trying to get this closing. I'm trying to sell one of my buildings.
Hey, listen.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
We gonna talk about, but don't worry, because Kzo. Oh, we gonna talk about brother Kzo. That's Mr. International Zone, boy.
He's doing his thing.
Another time zone.
Yeah, so also joining us tonight, man, from the 1992 group Zhigge Tribe, with their hits like "Toss It Up," "Raking in the Dough," and "Do the Uptown Bounce," "Do the Uptown Bounce." Yeah, welcome Kzo, aka International Zoe, in the building, man. What's good, man? What's going on, man?
What up, James?
Yeah,
yo,
man.
what's up, Kzo?
When the last time you seen K, James?
I've been trying to chase him. Every time I land in one of his countries he's at, he's gone already.
Oh, man.
That's what I was just trying to tell you. When you said you was late, you got to catch him on an international time zone. This brother's like going over.
Yeah, man.
Are you in the city, K?
No.
I'm in Colombia, Medellin.
And I'm flying out to Puerto Rico tomorrow.
Yes, yeah. Because you got a show tomorrow, right?
Well, I got rehearsal tomorrow, but show is on Saturday at the Coliseum.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So let's start with you, James. Tell the people who you are and where you come from, my brother.
James the Barber. I'm from Spanish Harlem. My nationality is half West Indian, half Puerto Rican. There's no reason for you to try to figure out whether I'm black or Indian or whatever that is. But
no Trump comment there.
And born and raised in Spanish Harlem. I moved to the Bronx about 25 years ago. I was fortunate to start getting into the real estate game, and I did all right purchasing up in the Bronx before it got crazy. But yeah, I did music for a long time. Actually started out as a dancer with Zhigge when we were just dancers. And they started recording. I wound up going on tour with Sister Soldier. I was still family. That's just the way the whole network was made up. That's why Zhigge Tribe was so important and so influential, is that people were in and out, and we were just all a nucleus group. I was part of the nucleus. Our first paid gig was to Japan, and we was actually hired as dancers, not even for music. And then after leaving Sister Soldiers, when I started, I was hosting and stuff, and wound up getting in the Spanish industry. Toured with Tito Nieves for 2 years, and then did DLG, and knock on wood, it took off for me. And here we are, like almost 30 years later. I'm still touring, still getting them checks every month.
That's all that matter, man. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's all.
Yeah, man. How about you, Kzo? Okay, tell everybody who you are, where you come from, my brother.
Oh, wait. Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
Just so you know, it all started in my barbershop. I stole Kzo. He was cutting hair. He was being known as a young barber, and I stole him, told him come cut with me. So it wasn't like my shop, it was our shop. And long story short, even when we got older, I wound up working for him. So it's full circle. So we've been friends since we was young teenagers, and we did music together. We worked together on business together. So it's a bond that's unbreakable and just continues. And like they say, you cannot see your friend maybe for a year, and then when you get with each other, it's like you never left, because we act like we 15 and start snapping on each other when we see each other anyway.
That's what Bishop would say, yo, this is gonna be crazy right here, boy. Yeah. Go ahead, Kay.
Kamal, born in Brooklyn, but I grew up in Spanish Harlem. Me and James are from the same neighborhood. Yeah, just across the hall from each other, basically. Always was into hip hop, dancing. I started out doing boogie, popping, locking, what I'm saying, and cutting hair, So that's how me and James first kind of connected on the hair cutting part, and we worked together a few times throughout our life. I was in the shop probably with James when I started to dance for Special Ed. So I kind of left the shop to go on tour with Special Ed, me and my brother Prancer. And then later we got Tonga and Ken Dog down with YZ. You know what I'm saying? And we were just breaking up the group Zhigge with the dancers and y'all,
you sent me the Moni Love. You sent me the Moni Love.
Okay. So we all like branched off and did that. Then we came back together to do the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we started working on the album like 1990. And then we got a deal, came out in 92. But James was there for all of that, all the rehearsals, even when we performed for the label.
Signing for the deal.
Yes. So I danced for Special Ed for like 2 years. Then we did the music for like 3 years. I went back to the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? Went back to 125th Street for 2 years and opened my own shop, Levels.
Yeah.
And, it's just been a blast from there. I opened in 1996, 125th Street, June 15th, 1996.
Yeah, that was the place.
Yo, Levels?
Yeah.
Levels.
So,
and then you had the other joint, Lexington. Or Lexington,
we're going to go down in history in Harlem like Jerry's Den, you know what I'm saying?
Tell about it.
Three more years, it'll be 30 years. So, but even though the real estate and everything is getting crazy, but, I set myself up, I travel, moved out the city, and now for the last 4 years, I've just been traveling around the world. That's the international zone now.
Okay,
Big up.
Big up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, check this out. I know briefly, I was telling y'all, when y'all talk about the barber, first I seen a video y'all was performing, and I think James, you was on. It looked like a big gymnasium, and I think you had the dancers, and I think James was there too, because I know he was doing some dancing and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, it was one of y'all was performing Uptown Bounce and stuff like that. Okay. So I seen that.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to tell y'all was, y'all both started my locks, right?
That's
We was
crazy.
talking
Yeah.
about that a little while ago, and I should have pulled up the picture of how they started and how they. I'm gonna show you how they are now.
Right.
But when I seen the picture, it reminded me Bishop Respect started his locks before
Yeah, I
I
have.
started my journey with the locks.
Yeah,
his
and
was
yeah,
longer.
there was a lady, young lady at your barber, a slim lady that did mine. I can't remember her name though. I was trying
That's
to
what we said
ask
earlier.
Remember the
James
brother and
about it.
sister K? I forgot the name. The dude, one kid had no leg, and the other girl was his sister.
Slim. I
The
remember.
light skinned dude.
Yeah, with the
I
light
don't
eyes.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Yeah,
a
I don't
minute.
remember.
Oh no.
because I
That's
think you only
yeah.
had like one female there in the place, so
Yeah.
it must have been her.
Well, she was the
Right.
only barber that did it because we had a female doing female hair in the back and all the way in the back.
So it must have been her. Yeah, she started my locks. Yeah, she started mine. Yeah.
And from then on, I'm now. It's a way of life. You know, it's my way of life. You know what I mean? And this is you guys helped me start that on this journey, and I really went down this path. But this is where we at now.
Damn.
That's him
Wow.
sitting in the chair. Yeah, to
How
the
many
ground.
years is that? Like
I'm right now on my
35?
journey. Huh?
40 years? How many years?
You was close. 30,
37.
like 36, 37.
Wow. Wow.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? So
And they
it's,
remember they
you know,
used to be little
yeah,
picking
they used to, you know,
his head back then.
little
Yeah,
worms.
But
man.
that's good that you're here. You were still able to maintain it for that long because a lot of people, after it gets past the shoulders, it starts
Well,
pulling
that's
at their
what
roots.
exactly, and
That's
that's
why
what
I took
happened.
mine. That's why I cut
That's
mine.
what
Yeah.
happened. It starts pulling at the root and stuff. You got to
Right.
put a lot of different minerals and different things like that. But my hair's down to my ankles now, literally,
God bless you, man.
and I can't. That's why I got to
I'm
keep it
holding
wrapped.
on.
So
My
So
so
you're
hair's
so
not
getting
dread,
light in the
huh?
back.
Not you,
nah,
boy.
You
not me no more.
Rastafarian? You
Rasta boy.
Rastafarian?
Nah, just spiritual.
Okay, beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
yeah. So tell the how you guys know us.
Well, I just
Well,
told
you
him.
used to gang bang with my cousins.
Hey.
Man,
Yeah.
listen. I think about that. I was talking about that the other day. How we was always part of the negativity because we just
Yes.
grew up with them, and we
Yeah.
was always around them, but we wasn't about the bullshit.
No.
You know what I mean?
And
Which
you
is
know-
also a blessing.
And they kept us away from that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We was able to look. I was even thinking about the time Kzo, we did our first joint with Violetta at LaGuardia House. You remember Kzo? Me, the twins, Bishop.
Yeah, our
and the
performance.
joint, our performance was so crazy, right? We had to get a smoke machine, but we couldn't get the smoke machine, right? So we had this guy dragging his dry ice across the stage, right? We had that. We had them in the stages and everything.
Froze.
And who froze?
No, we good.
Yeah,
You're
good.
back. You're back. You're back.
Okay. And it was so crazy because it got so crowded, so hot, so fogged up. The fire department came. I'm crying because I was like,
Yeah,
the
they shut
fire
it down.
department came, they had to shut it down. You remember, Kay?
Yeah.
Black
I
Rob.
don't
It was
think
crazy.
you remember. Yeah, it was a while.
Yep. And we looking for the tape because we got the tape.
Yeah.
And we interviewed you too that day. You know what I mean?
I gotta see that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I'm looking
right there
for
in
it, man.
LaGuardia
I'm
House.
looking for anybody has the tape.
We've
LaGuardia
been
House.
asking for that for the longest.
Was that
LaGuardia House?
1990? 1990? 1989?
Nah,
It
not
was-
89.
Had to
It
be,
was in the 90s.
had to
It
be
was
like
in the 90s.
89, 90.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. It was 80 something. Yeah.
That's
Damn.
what we had.
Yeah, because you got to remember when we were doing the Four Kings, when we were doing our music, Kzo and them wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because we were doing our thing then, and because we started in
Danny and Chino and
86.
them.
Yeah, we started like our journey in 86. So we was like in
No, it was
Calliope
about
Studio.
88. If I remember, it was around 88.
Mhm.
Yeah. We was in Calliope.
It was about 88.
Yeah, we started in 86 in Calliope studio though. And that was before De La Soul and all of them used that studio. Even even got my we came out with our masters. I made sure we got our masters from there.
Yep,
but
we showed them up on one of the episodes.
Yeah, we showed yeah, man.
And then James blew me away when he told me today. He said, "Yo, remember when you was telling me?" I said, "Save it for the show." You was telling me about when me and you met out a while back. And it was kind of like
we was talking. It was in front of Quasimodo's, and we were talking, and we was like, "Yo, I can't wait when we get old and we start talking about because we're gonna make it and we're gonna do our thing." And Lord Tariq was there with us, and he wasn't even in doing nothing at all. He was just starting in the music too, and we was talking about it. And I had just got off the mic because I was running around with Ted Smooth and everything, and we talked about this day. We said one day we're gonna talk about all the stuff we've accomplished. And we was drunk as I don't know what, because we was kids. We was in college and all that. And we talked that and we did it. So that's the greatest part about it.
You know, it was funny too that we've been trying to get in touch with because we found on our masters, we found a track that he did for us, Frankie Cutlass.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he did a track.
I talked to him once and I invited him on the show. So Frankie, if you listen in here or whatever, come on the show, man. You know, we got the brothers here, man. But I contacted him one time and asked him to come because I had Gbo the Pro and I had Joe Kzo on the show. Joe Kzo is the first photographer of hip hop.
Right.
Yeah, one of y'all got the your volume up too loud because it's feedbacking. One of y'all, you got just turn the volume down just a little bit.
Okay.
Better.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so we had him on the show, so we was trying to get him to come on, but you know he never responded. So let's see what happened. So
fun fact: my first ever recording was with Gbo.
Wow. Yeah. He's a good dude, man. Yeah. Gbo's a good dude. Man.
Double R Gbo the Pro 13.
Wait, he used to live in his studio because he remember he had a home.
Yeah, that's when he was on 109th Street and he had the studio set up in that duplex apartment.
With his little ass BMW convertible. Yeah, that great. I was like, dude,
you know who gave him that, right? You know who gave it to him, right?
No, who gave
Keith
him that?
Haring.
Yeah.
Keith Haring gave him that.
Yeah. It was so small.
That was used. That was used for an artwork thing, and he drew on it and everything. BMW gave that to him to draw on. That's your vehicle, and he said that's for you now. And he gave it to Gbo, and Gbo kept it until it died.
Right, because that goes to show you how long that been. Because when we seen the BMW, it didn't have no drawings on it yet. It was just blank, you know. So that goes to show you.
No, they washed it off. They washed it off. As soon as it was over, they washed it off and they gave it to him and he used it.
Oh, I thought it was on there permanently. Okay, I got you. Because I didn't see the writings on there. Yeah. So No, I was gonna say for the people out there that don't know what DLG stands for and how it came about, can you explain it to them?
Sure. So DLG stands for Dark Latin Groove. And what it was that we wanted to, well, my producer more so than anything, he wanted to formulate a group that represented New York. Because a lot of people don't know that salsa comes from New York. Salsa is the New York version, the urban version of mambo that was like in Cuba and Puerto Rico. Bomba plena is like the basis. And what happened was when they moved to New York and they started to implement the movement, they renamed it salsa because there's a saying like "dale salsa," like put some flame on, put some zest on it. Yeah. And so we wanted to like make a movement like that with salsa, and basically what happened was salsa was all pretty light skinned dudes with ties and jackets,
pretty boy,
and he was like, I need something that represents New York, dark skinned brothers that mix hip hop, and because he was really wanted to do the hip hop thing. I wanted to do the reggae. He was like, the same thing that I'm doing. So I was like, well, then we on the same page, and we mixed it up, and we implemented that R&B flow, and And then we just, No More Da, which was our first single, which was a remake of an English song. We recorded that, like, I want to say about 10, 12 times before we got the formula, before we actually started to really record it, to put it on tape. So, and then once we put it out, it was like it had been years since they put out a single, and that was the first time Sony put out a single. And it just ran because we were representing that New York flow, young flow, and but implementing still the traditional bomba plena mambo style salsa. And I wasn't even supposed to be in the group. I don't know if you guys remember Adam Torres.
Oh yeah.
Right. So he's my manager. He's also my partner in the ownership of DLG. And he also he always had that dream. He's actually the one that came up with the name. He wrote a song like in the 80s, the late 80s, called Dark Latin Groove. My producer was like, yo, that's a dope set. Yo, we're going to use it. He named his studio Dark Latin Groove. And then what happened was we were supposed to be on a compilation. So it was DLG's compilation. But when Sony heard Huey and I, they were like, nah, nobody else is DLG. Those two guys are DLG. That's the what we're looking for to change the world. And thank God it worked out. And so we kept the Dark Latin Groove moving. And, we changed up the way we dressed. We actually used to, in the beginning, not even use a full band. We used track, and it started to work out. And then when we implemented the live instruments, even though we recorded live instruments, it was not, samples and dubplate. It just, I don't know. And then we just kept developing, and throughout the whole process of the first album, like I said, it was like a real experiment. Nobody never did it. We really mixed the reggae, really mixed it with salsa. So the rhythms are really married. And then we implemented, like a lot of people don't know, like in salsa, you could dance on two or dance on one. Our music is based on one because it's a New York flow, and it's, a lot of hip hop is on one, reggae is on one, but we still maintain that. And that's stuck because it goes well with the clave, which is the base of the salsa, which is. So I married it, and that's all it is. So it's Dark Latin Groove, swing negro Latino, and they let the fat guy rock with him.
That's it. So Kzo, we got to get into you. Yeah, man. T coming. Papa Wolf gonna be over there talking to you. You know what I mean? So like, I want to know, what was it like, being part of Zhigge Tribe, right? Also, International Zone. I know you briefly talked about it and all that stuff like that, but let them know what it's about so they can lock in. Man, I'll be locking in. So let them know what's good.
So Zhigge, we started out as a dance group, of course, but when you emerged in hip hop or in music, you immersed in it all. So even though we were dancing, we got into house music for a time when we was going hard. The house music was big in New York and Chicago and certain areas. We flipped over to that, which only when we came back to hip hop, it just made our dancing better because the house was like more fluent. Your body had to. So it was ill that everybody who Stretch, all these popular famous hip hop dancers, they had like a 2-year stint like in house music hard, and then they went back to hip hop. So that just took us to another level on the dancing side, and we was dancing with even in the Magnificent video. If you see us in the video, the clothes we had on was more like what you would see the house dudes wearing, because we was just getting back into the hip hop. So that's why we had that kind of gear on.
I'm sorry to cut you, but Ziggy was known for them polos and all of that.
Yeah,
You talking? This was before that.
Before that,
yeah. Okay. But first of all, being from Harlem, Prince being from Brooklyn, we was always dressing fly. You know what I'm saying? That was. But when we was doing that, we was wearing the jabos and the this and that. We was still really wear jabos. All that stuff was still fire.
Yeah.
What we had, what was that other one? Benetton.
Oh
yeah,
we was
Benetton.
All of those clothing together. So when we came back to it, Prince is the big influence with the polo.
Uh-huh.
Me and Prince met in high school, and it was me, him, and my brother Basir, Kevin Brown. We was the first three guys with Zhigge. And then Tonga and Kenny or Kendall Sound, I used to cut, I was the nucleus to everything because I cut everybody's hair.
Uh-huh.
I put the Z's in everybody's hair.
Oh, I remember those joints.
We went around the world.
There you go. There you go.
Oh yeah. See, your boy was doing this thing, man. Yeah. So yeah, man. You know, all that is hip hop to me. I think the element that's left out of hip hop is the haircuts because all initial artists are synonymous with their style, and you're not gonna get fly without having a haircut. So I think they kind of left the barbers outside of hip hop, which I mean, if you think about it,
we needed the high top fades and the Rakim joint.
His cut,
Yeah,
Daddy Kane,
the
dudes from Philly. It doesn't, you know, so it doesn't matter. Everybody had their, even the juice. Everybody called it the juice cut when Pac had that cut. So you know, we grew up in hip hop. We was submerged in hip hop from every corner. You know what I mean? And so it was just quite natural us to start MCing. We was around MCs, you know what I'm saying? And Sound started kind of like MCing first because he was around YZ. And he took on that kind of like wise intelligence style with the fast rapping because Sound had that Latin tongue, you know, he's half Puerto Rican. So he had that, he could do that quick, you know what I'm saying? So but we was all brothers and we were all into hip hop. We loved it. So we went from dancing to rapping. We were able, because we were already in a whole bunch of music videos. We were already on tour, used to being on stage. So for us to get a deal and perform was just a natural progression. You know what I mean? And so when I did that, I stepped away from the barbershop for 2 years. I remember it was like 2-3 years. I stepped away from the barbershop, but I always had that in me. So when the music thing didn't, you know, we got dropped from the label and all that, I went back to the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? As a barber, especially in New York, you're always kind of like an entrepreneur. You know, if you rent a chair and you work for yourself, that could be your beginning stages of entrepreneurship. So in 1996, I partnered with my cousin and one of my best friends in the barber game at the time, Larry Wilson.
I remember
and we opened up the first shop on 125th Street.
Yeah, Larry.
So, and me being an entrepreneur, that's kind of, I think, what me and James got in common a lot. We both always been entrepreneurs. So I went on to open up several more locations. You know, I opened in Queens. I had 2 in Queens. I had 2 in Brooklyn. I had 3 in Harlem. I had 2 upstate New York. So, you know, I was all over the place with that. And it balanced my lifestyle. I was able to make money without physically doing anything. And so it gave me time, it gave me the resources to start traveling, something that I liked, something that I got introduced to from hip hop. Because I had never traveled anywhere before dancing for special ed. Although he wasn't going internationally, but he was traveling around. You know, he was hot for a minute. Special ed was
for a minute.
Hot. So we went on tour. We went on tours. We went state to state, and even through being in music videos, dancing, a brother named Milo Johnson from London, his wife was Japanese, and the company that she bought from, they had a fashion show, and they wanted 15 dancers from New York.
And yeah, guys got busy on it.
Us being in music videos, he came up to me. He asked me if I wanted to go to Japan to dance. I said, if my crew could come, I'll go. You feel me?
Right.
So that's how all of us went to Japan. The only one that didn't go was Face Dog because his grandma was like, nah, I don't know that. I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else went. And that was our first time we got our passport. And we went to Japan for it was like a week, 2 weeks.
10 days.
10 days. All right. So That was our first international flight, and that's what really started me on some. I love this. You know what I'm saying? And when I had a chance, I kept going.
Yeah, man. And that's what I'll be trying to tell people that's trying to get into the rap game or music game or whatever have you, that you have to have a backup plan. Like you said,
that's my backup plan right now. This is my backup phone. My other one died. I got 3 phones. I'm sorry about that, man.
That's all right. So we live, baby. Anything can happen. We live.
Yeah, we live, man. We always tell people that everything can happen. We rant a lot.
Listen, I know Zoe is, Kay is talking, but I want to let y'all know something. I want to give him his flowers because he was the architect of the whole thing, man.
Yep.
To be honest with you, his business perspective on life
was crazy.
Was really important. And he knows it to a certain extent because at the end of the day, he knows his worth. But a lot of people don't realize that when you're in the entertainment business, your artistry, your talent is like this much. If you don't have the right direction, the right formula, and the person who knows how to negotiate and do whatever, that's why him and I work so well. We have a good business, perspective on things. I'm a little bit more of a loose cannon when it comes to things because sometimes I just don't give up, but he's a little bit more his architectural plan about the whole business. That's the reason why Zhigge worked. I'm talking about from the start of us just being dancers and branching out. Not everybody's going to be happy. People are going to argue. But at the end of the day, the foundation is set. So after you finish talking and getting mad, just come back over and let's get this money because we already got it in place.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't within the group, because even with DLG, we broke up and everything, and I happen to be the architect in DLG. And people know who's who and what's what and who to speak to and who got a level head. And when there's a choice to make, and it's a gamble, it might work, it might not work, but making a choice, you can't sometimes make the choice based on your feelings. You got to make those choices based on what's the higher ratio of success.
Yep.
And I give that to Zoe. And that's the reason why him and I, sometimes because we're so alike, we clash heads. We would argue when we was Zhigge. That I remember walking out when we was doing the thing. I was like, nah, man, I don't understand. It's 50% bullshit. And he was like, yo, chill, bro. And if everybody would have maintained their head, it could have elevated even more, because it's not how you get in. Is getting into me is the easiest thing in the music business. It's what you do from there and what you do. It's just like having a business. You can open your own business and have the money and do everything, but what are you going to do to generate a future and have a 10-year plan? And some people can't see that vision.
Yeah, you want that generation.
Why Kay has been successful in the majority of things, if not all the things that he's done. So I give him his flowers because at the end of the day, he has a successful business.
Big up.
And I don't need nothing from him. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying because at the end of the day,
you're giving him his flowers.
We're good.
Yeah, you're giving him his flowers.
He's been my friend since childhood, and I love to see just like you, Trent, and you did. I love to see my people doing their thing because we came from a lot of negativity.
Yes.
We lost a lot of friends.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we lost friends to bullshit. So when we see doing the right thing, and we didn't have a trust fund. No, I don't think none of y'all did. I didn't have no trust fund. Nobody saved no money for me. I was in financial aid when I went to college. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't no easy thing for me or any of us. So when you get that master plan in your head, it's important that you think 5 years from now. And some people can't do that. Yeah. And that's what happens a lot of times. So that's why I'm glad that to this day, me and Kay, we all right. What I'm saying? They always say that you'll be the best of friends if you never need each other.
Yeah,
but you always need each other.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling my sons, that because both of them rap, and they're very good rappers. But I tell you, if it doesn't work out, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like Kzo said, they dropped him from the label, and he went back to cutting hair. Listen, I still got something to do. I can still rock. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I be trying to tell them. You have to have something else under that, because everybody is not going to make it, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? You could try, you know, but not everybody that tackle it is gonna make it. So if you don't make it, what's your backup plan? You
That's
know what I'm
like
saying?
And it's not whether or not you have the talent. Because there's a lot of we've seen a lot of dudes in the pop that are better than Jordan. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that having an architectural plan. That's my first real big check. Well, no, like maybe my second really big check. We got like $100,000 for like a show, and you know they were like, "Yo, how you gonna do this?" And I was like, "Well, first pay my taxes. You know, I don't need them coming to get me." And at first I was like, I don't really want to pay them, but yeah, take that. And then I said, I'm gonna buy a house because, you know, I don't know if this thing's gonna last. Let me get something out of it.
Let's get something out of
it. And then
yeah.
that just snowballed. I said, you know what? I'm gonna also go and make sure I learn my real estate. And I said, that's what I'm gonna keep reinvesting in. And then I was just lucky that we kept going and the music kept going. There was a time period where it stopped and I wasn't making any money. You know what I'm saying? Because once you're relying on shows, because we wasn't getting checks from the label yet. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't getting no publishing stuff. So we was hustling on the set of Law and Order and you know, I was working as a PA and, you know, doing what I had to do. And hindsight 2020, I was just like, you know, I could have done it. I went to when I got into when I went through my divorce, Kay was there for me. I was like, yo, I need to cut hair, bro. What we gonna do? I gotta cut hair because I need to have a legitimate job and I'm broke. I can't wait for my big check to come every 3 months. Can't do that.
I tell people, look how long we haven't seen each other. We say, hey, you know what? Let's call K. Let's call J. We didn't see each other because how we grew up in that era. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you want to come down, be on the show, this, wop, blah, blah. Yo, no problem. When you form relationships, they're bonding. You know what I'm saying? And when they're bonding like that, and you know, yo, this guy was there when we were young, we was running. I never hear nothing bad. I ain't never hear nothing bad about none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's a bond. That's a bond, and people got to cherish that.
So listen,
same mindset. We have the same mindset. I'm sorry, Trent.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
no, I'm just saying we just all had the same mindset about getting to be successful.
Exactly. James, when I come back, Sir George, I want to know about him, how he influenced you, and after this video, right now.
Let me bring this in. Let me bring this in. You always helping people, K. You helped my little brother out, Chris. He needed a little job. He was probably like 12 or 14 years old. You remember that? Till this day. And he held that job for like 7 years. Sweet. He moved up to shampooing hair. You know what I'm saying? We used to be teasing him in the shop, right? Because of that good deed, he went on to become a good man. He works for, you know, corrections.
He was a good kid.
He got his own business. Actually, Respect is going to one of his joints this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the Twins is doing good. And this young brother right here, he's been around us. We got pictures when he was in the studio looking at that like that. Little. That's Respect's son. So our roots run deep. My son. My son, that y'all cut his hair. Y'all cut his hair. You used to put the little thing in, snipe if you were here. If you not, he corrections now too. But if you hear, I used to bring him in there. Y'all used to cut his hair. He became one of our artists. We signed him to our management company. We won the United Nations Award with him on a song that we did with the rest of our artists for Obama. So it's like going through all of that. And the other son, Respect's other son, Lethal, you know, and this is the things that we saying, how we keep everything, you know, reach out, help who you got to help. They was little looking at us when we ain't paid no attention. And I'm always bigging them up because I'm so proud of them. You know, I know Respect is proud of, but I'm so proud of them. They doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing.
Yeah, man.
So Kay, what's this international? Don't give all the Jews to us, because when I was doing my research, I seen you say, yo, listen, Y'all can't be asking me for all the good joy, guys, Bishop. Yeah. Guys,
No, hold on. We're gonna get back to James first because I said when we come back, we're gonna get to Sir George and who he is to James.
Oh yes.
Sum that up.
Okay. So Sergio George is from Johnson Projects.
Oh, he is. Oh, man.
Yes.
Wow.
He's from Johnson Projects.
Wow.
Then when he was about 15, 16 years old, they moved to Stanley Isaacs.
Stanley, yep.
I know Sir George and I know Adam. I know Adam very well.
Yeah.
Right. And so, we knew him. We knew we was trying to do music. Adam was breakdancing. He was in magazines and all that. And so Sergio, like I had run into him here and there in the hood just because we were around music stuff. And but when Adam said, "Yo, come with me, help me get this group together," I was just gonna help him get the group together. I just wound up jumping on the mic because I was drunk, and they were like, "Yo, who's that?" And they were like, "Fuck them niggas, we want this kid." So I wound up doing it. But Sergio, and he's always believed in me, and he'll tell you, "Yo, that nigga sucks, man." He says that all, he can't really reggae, he can't really rap, but I'm always the one he called, and he had his biggest success with me, and he always respected my input. And if he didn't agree with it, he was honest. Like, I think that's whack. I don't think it's going to work. Or he was going to say, for what we're trying to do, that's too aggressive or too. Because you got to remember, we were real edgy. Right now, reggaeton is ruling. But when we came in, they was like, rap, whoa, reggae, whoa.
Yeah,
Man.
Hey, K, you know where that's at?
Where's that?
That's Medellin.
Wow.
Yeah, that's in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. They go Serge. So Serge believed. He said, "Yo, let's just do it. We ain't got nothing to lose." He was young, I was young, because he's only like 6, 7 years older than me. And he was like, "Yo, let's do it." He was like, "You gonna rap?" I said, "Yo, I don't rap. I do reggae." He goes, "Yo, even better. Let's do it." And then he took a chance. Remember, he took a shot with Mark Anthony too, because y'all know Mark Anthony's from across the street from Kzo and me.
Oh yes,
He's from 101st, between first and second. And truth be told, his sister sings better than him. But that's another story.
Wow. Hey, this is food, music, and the truth. We say like we spit it. You know it's real.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to lose no more, man. My tongue was bad back then. It's bad now. Nah, but Marcus, and he's doing his thing. He's really popping. You know what I'm saying? And he brought Mark and La India to R&M and said, "Yo, we need to make this young movement." In the back of his mind, saying, "I'm gonna leave this company and I'm gonna bring my own group," which was the Dark Latin Groove movement. And that catapulted him. And then he was able. His contract ran out right when Mark smashed it, so he was able to renegotiate at the right time, and he got that money and he invested it in us. And we got the studio. We was on 19th Street between 5th and whatever that is, Broadway, I think it is. And but he's always been a piano. He's been playing since he was 15, 16 years old. He lived in Colombia because he lived there for like 2 or 3 years because it was like that's where the money was at for musicians, and he was just there. And he didn't really know Spanish that well, just like Huey and I didn't. And it's just like I said, it was that New York vibe, that Spanish Harlem vibe.
Yeah.
And we just took over, and now Sergio, he's done everybody from Thalia, Maluma. Like I was telling you, when I recorded with Maluma, it was before people knew who he was because he was hot in Colombia, hot in everywhere, underground, but he hadn't gotten to that pop stage. And then he got with Sergio. Sergio did like one song with him, and then he just ran with it, and he knew the women were going to love him. So Sergio's like one of those guys like Kzo. He's an architect. He knows what he's doing and what he's doing and how to put it together, because you can have a lot of great ideas, but if you don't know how to put it together and thinking about what direction you want to go in and what you need to utilize and give to go in that direction, if you don't have that, you're not going to be successful. I don't care how talented you are and how much money you have. So, and that's what Sergio was to me. And to this day, him and I, we still snap on each other. I used to go to his house. We shoot basketball, snap it. He could play ball too. He's basketball. His jump shot crazy. And and we still talk, and then I still give him ideas. I was the A&R. I was the head, not the head. I was A&R for him. And when he started his record label, and I worked with him, and I brought producers and I brought artists. And actually, one of the kids that's singing with me on Saturday was a fan from Peru, and he knew our music better than us, and knew the sounds and the chords and the vocals better than us. And he said, no, this is how it is. It's on the recording. So he was emulating the actual mix and mastered part. And so he came, and I actually wound up signing him to a group. Some kids I signed, I went all the way. They're from New York, but they were living in Rhode Island. I went to Rhode Island and got them. I got some Dominican kids up from Dyke, and so I was working with him also. So he's always giving me a shot. And he also gave me the second round when Huey, who was the main singer, left. He said, "Yo, let's put it together. Let's put it together." And I got a female, and we got the female again, and then we launched again. And that's when I actually won the Latin Grammy, because the other times I was nominated for American Grammys, I got jerked.
That was Miss Yaya, right? What was that?
Miss Yaya, who's very, and I've been with her longer than the original group. And but yeah, we actually got our Latin Grammy for 2 of our songs, and it was with Sergio Joe. So it was Sergio's production on our 2 songs.
Nice.
But I feel like I got jerked 2 of the Grammys. One of the Grammys I don't think I deserved to win, which was against Buena Vista Social Club. But because they were doing things that nobody was doing. They was actually having people where they don't play music at all, just like DLG, but they didn't play that mambo, that Cuban style, slower type, real traditional Cuban style music. And so they deserved it. But that's how it goes. But I got my medal, I got all my Grammy stuff on the wall and everything. I never paid for my Emmy trophy.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
All things Sergio, you know what I'm saying? And again, Sergio's from Spanish Harlem. He's just like us.
Yeah.
So, and he's doing this thing, and now he has his new movement, Ataca Sergio, and he's making that movement. He just did a recording with another reggaeton artist from Puerto Rico and another girl from Colombia, and he makes his moves. And not only in salsa, because remember, he did the bachata thing with Prince Royce, and he's that visionary architect, just like Kay and me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Sergio is. So
that's cool.
Now, Kay, tell us about. Don't give us the whole flavor like I started to say before, because I see
James. Hold on, D. James, you keep freezing. So see what's up with your phone.
No, I think it's just me holding my breath. It just looks like I'm freezing.
Well, hey, listen, y'all paramedics over there, you in respect. So don't hold your breath too long. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Okay. Don't give us all of it, because when me and Bishop Respect was going over looking for content and doing all that, man, you was getting on somebody. I don't know who it was, but you was like, I'm not giving away all the goodies. Nah. So, let us know what's going on. Tell us what is it about? You know what I'm saying? I see models. Yeah, international. I see models. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look at this pretty boy up here. He just chilling. It's just like you said, James. I'm like, he ain't changed. He ain't changed.
What happened was I got all these little different facets in my life, but I started doing a competition called the New York City Barber Battle, right? So I had barbers coming from all over the country to compete. The first one I did was in Times Square. I had dudes come from all over. So being from New York, understanding, battling and all that stuff everybody knows that in New York. We've had everything from pop locking, break dancing,
hustle
MC
battles.
battle, DJ battle. So that was what it was, the New York City Barber Battle. So I created a YouTube channel to promote the battle. So what I did is I went from barbershop to barbershop. I let guys talk trash about what they was going to do. And so that got dudes from Philly and other places hot, like, what? We coming, you know what I'm saying? And the first show, it was literally wrapped around 125th Street. 42nd Street. It was wrapped around, the venue wasn't big enough, right? So that's how I created the YouTube channel for that. But it was called Barber World TV because I'm a barber. And I said, okay, what I'm going to start doing is traveling around the world, visiting barber shops, interviewing barbers, and showing people the culture of barbering internationally. So that's what I started doing. So my first maybe 10 countries, I was going to barbershops. Thailand, the Philippines, Panama, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. I was going to barbershops, interviewing barbers, but I was doing other stuff too. Like when I was going to the countries, I would go to all the monuments, I would go to all the tourist attractions, and
Right.
of course, y'all know being from Harlem,
I knew he was gonna
Zoe
say it.
love the ladies. You know
I
what I'm
know he was
saying?
gonna say it.
So I would, you know, they see me with some chicas and all that in different places. So I got kind of tired of going to the barbershops, interviewing barbers, because it was like the same questions all the time.
Uh-huh.
What inspired you? What's
Yeah.
the popular haircut? How long you been cutting hair?
Mhm.
You know, and I just started showing more of the tourist attractions,
Mhm.
the nightlife, and
Mhm.
the ladies. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
So eventually I changed the channel to International Zoe, even though most people who was following me, they still call Barber World TV,
Mhm.
and you still see the logo on the videos.
Uh-huh.
But I started sharing information and inspired a whole group of men to start traveling. Like when I go to countries, people come up to me, be like, yo, I came to the country. I know how to move. I know where to go because I watch your channel. I love your channel. You give great information. And of course, we all know that women is a draw.
Mhm.
So, you know, I'm always going to have a pretty girl on my channel while I'm in the country. You feel me?
I feel
I'm
you.
divorced. You know,
Yeah.
I started traveling hard once I got divorced.
Oh, I
In
know.
2018, separated and divorced. So I went back to doing Kzo, you know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
traveling around the world, and it's I enjoy something I enjoy the most. I put
Uh-huh.
myself in a position where
Yeah.
my money can make money, and I
Uh-huh.
don't have to I'm renovating a condo I bought in Rio de Janeiro on
Mm.
Copacabana. So I
Uh-huh.
got a condo in Copacabana, 2 bedroom. I'm gonna put that on Airbnb while I'm
Mhm.
still traveling around the world. I got a small apartment I rent in Thailand. This is my
I seen
apartment I
another
rent in
joint.
Colombia.
That's the one that
I,
you were saying. If you want this, you could still buy it. You was moving out or selling the spot. Is that the
oh,
place you
that's
at now?
this one
Oh,
here
okay.
in Medellin. Like
Yeah.
I rented this for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I just love to travel. I've met so many new friends
That's a beautiful
that I
thing.
would never meet if I wasn't traveling around the
Mm-hmm.
world. So even
Cool.
other Americans I've met traveling around the world. So
Mm-hmm.
it's my joy. And some people, you know, it inspired them to get their passport.
Mm-hmm.
It's inspired them to visit different countries and
Mm-hmm.
feel confident and safe, knowing because the unknown is what scares a lot of people from
Yeah.
traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and I did most of my travel I do by myself.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I attribute that traveling from being in hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
starting my traveling in hip hop,
Yeah. That's what
getting
got
my
it started.
passport from being a
Yeah.
dancer, going to Japan, and I'm on my third passport, and it's
Getting
almost
the
done.
stamps. Getting
My
Mm-hmm.
my
stamps.
my
Boom,
my, my
boom.
pages, I got about another 5-6 pages, and this is one I just got in 2020.
It's a wrap.
No, yeah, after COVID, I had got a new one, and it's 2024. My joint is almost done. By next year, my joint is gonna be done.
That's
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, especially coming from, where we came from and able to travel. I hope the FFT audience is looking at this and,
Yeah.
some of the younger people, some of the older people too could get inspired. Tomorrow I'm leaving, but I ain't leaving nowhere where you going. But maybe you can help me out with some food places, man. I'll be going to New Orleans tomorrow. So,
New
I'll hit you up
Orleans,
later on.
wow.
So see
Uh,
if you got some good picks. I'll hit you up
yeah.
on that. Yeah.
I'm like 40 something countries deep. I know James probably the same because but
Yeah, I'm
it's
on
that
I'm
music.
on my fourth passport too.
Yeah.
I got one passport that got like two extensions in it. The other one got like three extensions. My
Right.
first passport
So
I never got extensions.
with you guys, which is your favorite place to visit, and will you go back?
Yeah.
Which
It
is
depends. It depends on what you're saying because for me, women is different, food is different, the sites are different, the
Mhm.
way the people treat you is different.
okay. So What's is the most memorable? I should say like that. That you visit, and you be like, yeah, I'll go back there anytime, man. I loved it.
Well, depending on the color of the money, I'll go visit them many times over. So at this point, like I'm really tired of traveling. I look at Zorba.
Oh, that was my next cousin. Yeah.
It's really rough because you got to remember at one point with DLG, like because we did all of Latin America, so I was doing like 3 or 4 countries at a time, doing like maybe 3 or 4 concerts. I'll be away for so long, and going through the airport and coming back, and then going, and then you come home for 2 seconds. You don't even want to unpack. So I used to have a second. So you get tired of it. You know what I mean? Me personally, if I had it the way I want to do it, when my young daughter graduates, I want to move to the mountains. I'm building cabins,
and that's it.
And I move up there and just
a couple
chill.
of goats and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'm traveling tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, what I gotta get.
The mountains are beautiful in Colombia.
Yeah,
Kzo,
I know.
Kzo, you have kids? Okay, you got kids?
I think you
can. 25 and 23. So I stayed till they got big, worked it out. And they live with me they just moved like last year with their mom, but they was with me after divorce and everything.
I just asked you guys that because I was wondering how you juggle being away from the family or being away from your kids for so long.
I know it can be hard.
How you juggle that,
When I used to come home, I used to just stay home with my kids and just, I got 2 older ones and I got the younger one. The younger one lives with me now. And, I actually I volunteer at her school and the whole thing.
That's it.
So I'm
what
with
it
her
is.
all the time. You guys know, remember, I was coaching back then when I was in the barbershop. So I've always done the kids thing. I've always given back to the community. I'm the one that brought RBI into Spanish Harlem when I was part of the community board and all that. I brought that whole RBI thing. So I've always been big on sports and stuff. So when I'm home, I'm with my kids. I don't, especially now that I'm older, I'm not trying to run around and go see. And thank God I'm not chasing chicks and stuff like that, because I was doing that for a little while. That helps you out.
No, only one young be doing that is Kzo. Kzo good.
Well, my kids, they worked with me in my barbershop. My son got his license, even though he don't do it now. But my daughter was a receptionist in my shop. I gave them jobs. My daughter just graduated beauty school. So they got the entrepreneur spirit like me,
like my kids. Yep.
And I was with them their whole life, So, they watch their dad go and do his thing, they check in on me, but I make sure they're good. I make sure. Yeah.
Let me ask you. You said they worked with you in the shop, and James, you could tell the truth if you seen him do this. Did you treat them kids like Mr. Willie used to treat you from the barbershop? Remember Mr. Willie in the barbershop? You couldn't curse in his barbershop. You couldn't say, you couldn't talk loud. Like, were you doing that? Hey, lower your voice.
No, they didn't even have a TV in Mr. Willie's barbershop.
Nah, it was rough there, but it was cool though.
Yeah, but
it was cool.
You learned a lot. You sat in the barbershop back in the days. You listen to older folks talk. You know what I'm saying? And you was respectful. And now that's changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You can't stop them from being on their phones. You gotta have a TV, gotta have cable, you know what I'm saying? But still, I tried to keep some of those traditions that I learned coming up in that era.
It's important.
In my barbershop, of course.
Yeah, it's important, man.
My kids are good kids, you know what I'm saying? They had good parents.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to go, we only had 2, you know what I'm saying? When you have 2, you might be able to just be cool with no problem. But if your numbers go 3, 4, 5, you're gonna have one that's like
Papa Wolf is good. Papa is good.
You got to talk to Papa Wolf about that Papa one. He got like 6 or 7, I think, something like
all my kids are grown doing one. I just bigged up my son. He graduated from Howard. He works for the government. You know what I mean? My daughters are both entrepreneurs. One's a teacher. One is a lifestyle coach. You know, everybody doing their
God
thing. You know what
bless
I'm
him.
saying? Yeah, everybody. And then, you know, Sniper, you know, he got a little government thing. You know what I mean? He doing corrections. And he was a Marine, graduated Marine, top of the class. You know, so you know how the Marines is. So I'm blessed, man. I'm truly thank God above that. Like, yo, I'm blessed, man.
James, how would you describe to the audience, because we know, but how would you describe your style of music? You know,
So it sometimes it's hard because the most popular music, of course, is hip hop, right? Whether they want to say so or not. And hip hop is not everybody in hip hop uses live instruments. So we're live instruments. Everything on and it's live and written right there in the studio. And you know, we have the formula, the bass, which is like the clave. The thing about our music was that we were the first ones to merge that reggae and that hip hop sound together. There was a group that had implements. They were called Three to Get Funky, and that's part of, you know, what we try to catapult from. But they would stop the salsa music, and then they would start the hip hop or reggae part or the reggaeton part. But our thing is that you'll listen to the song and you'll listen to the song, and both of y'all will hear a different song because you're a reggae head and you hear the reggae and you're like, oh, reggae. Then he's listening to it and he's a salsa fan. He's like, wow, that cloud is good. So that was the difficult part, was merging that live instrument. So when you hear in that bass going boom, 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 and then, you know, we're managing it with the conga. So the conga, boom, boom, but he's going boom, 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 boom. So so it's just a marriage. And then with the vocal styles, Huey's vocal style was real R&B-ish. So when he was singing some of the songs and doing some of the things, he would implement those flat and sharp keys, and you know, so it was real live instrument stuff marrying together. Once we got that formula, it was easy. We ran with it. Second album, third album. Our second album was one of our biggest selling albums, and it was actually not as it didn't win as many accolades. We won some billboards with it, and we won the Emmy with that one. But like, it's just like, again, timing, and then you know, but we had the formula and just putting it out. So it was a marriage of reggae and salsa, and then we had the implements of hip hop, implements of ska, you know, some little bit of like pop stuff, and it's just knowing music. And I learned a lot about writing music and producing music through PLG.
It's funny that you talk about that, because I think in the late 80s, me and my brother, we used to go to New Jersey to this dude's house, and he had a studio there. So we used to go to the studio, and during that time we brought a Jamaican guy there with us, and we brought the Spanish guy with us. So we were like, yo, what would happen if we put reggae with the hip hop beat? You know what I'm saying? Or the Spanish guy, he gonna rap Spanish to the hip hop beat. And we started doing that at that time. Not saying that we was the first one, but we was thinking about that before.
But that's exactly what I was saying. It's a Spanish Harlem. It's a New York flow, New York swag. Because we had the same mentality about marrying different genres, because they were all around us.
Exactly.
So it was the same mentality. We just had an architect that was able to, you know, implement it, which was Sergio.
And we did it. And it just came out nice. I was rapping on the beat too, so it was me rapping, and then the guy would come and bye, you know, he do the James the Barba joint on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how. But we called it Splanglish. We didn't have a reggaeton or nothing like.
We called it terminology.
We called it Splanglish. So
James, do you remember that terminology? Before it was reggaeton, they used to call it Splanglish. It was English and like reggae and part like broken Spanish, and that guy was real nice. I forgot his name. See,
I think it was Angel or something like that, because he had got signed to our contract. We signed to Robbie Boy Records, and then he came and he signed with Robbie Boy Records because it was him, this other guy named Basim, as a rapper, And then we put Rule on it. Rule was the Jamaican guy. So we were
He's
all
from Kingston.
So
he's
this
from
goes to show you 86. We were putting things together like that, and it, you know, it was
played a couple of them on in the first episode.
Yeah.
Some of the old tracks and
That's
stuff
what's
like
up.
that.
That's what's so it's the same thing. It's that
Roots run
mentality.
deep.
It's that Spanish Harlem mentality of mixing the genres of all the people around.
Yeah.
You know, I know Zoe is probably fluent in Spanish now. There's
Yeah,
people that are the Arabs in Spanish Harlem are fluent in Spanish.
Struggling.
Yeah, hey, I'm still struggling.
Well,
they hung up the phone on me because my Spanish was bad.
You got New Yorkers.
Yeah.
You got New Yorkers, so you know a lot of them that speak English like everybody else.
I see one of his interviews. He was talking to the young lady, and then
Even
he just
J-Lo's
broke down.
Spanish was bad, right?
Yeah, listen. As long as you get your point across and what you're trying to say, and they understand, that's all that matters.
And right now with AI, all you got to do is just you. I don't care what language it is. You just say it into the joint. Just hold the phone up, and that's it.
It wasn't that easy. When I I remember being I was trying to get with this Indonesian chick. She didn't speak no English. I didn't speak no Indonesian. And we knew what we was talking about though.
What you doing? Stuff like this? Yeah.
The language of love. They call it the language of love.
I did the laugh. Ah.
You know, he was doing all the James and Barba songs like that. Like, yo, she got to know one of these joints.
Yeah, she got to know
one of these joints. That was it, boy.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Man, I tell you, man, it's something else, man. It's good, you know, seeing us here. Y'all got me like tears coming in. I'm laughing like, yeah. It's good seeing us, you know, back from around the way. I don't know if y'all know Chino. We had Chino up here. You know what I'm saying? We have Violet.
Chino from Wagner?
From 119.
Yeah,
he
119.
With us. Matter of fact, Kay, you played football with us too, right? What was that? What was your Wild Bunch? James played for Wild Bunch, or what was it? What was
I started with Wild Bunch. We were called the Stallions.
We used to hate y'all, Magic and us. Yeah, we used to hate y'all.
but then I went with Wagner. Then I started playing with the Ravens.
Yeah. Yep. And then you had the from
Sting.
You had the
James.
Then I
played with Sting.
Yes, Sting. And James from 119. He played with y'all. Yeah. He played
you know what was funny about James? So one day I'm at work. I'm sitting in the ambulance, right? Getting ready to do my tour or whatever. Mm-hmm. This big dude comes and sit in the seat. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, know this cat from somewhere. Because what are the odds of you just, you know what I'm saying, that we meet in, like, you know, in the ambulance. So and then later on, I guess that day we saw, yo, you from home? Yeah, I know you. And then we start talking. Then we start figuring out who was what. But what was the odds of us meeting like that?
You know what that came from with me though, right? I was in an interview with this Peruvian television, and the lady said to me, she said, if you wasn't, you know, famous DLG singer, what would you be doing? You know, what would you do? Mm-hmm. What you would have been doing? And I said, well, you know, my first degree was teaching. I cut hair for a long time. I love cutting hair. I don't know, maybe doing one of those things, you know, coaching. And so she goes, nah. What did you want to do that you never did? And when she said that to me, it messed me up. It really fucked me up, because I was like, anything I wanted to do, I always made sure I did it. Right. And I was like, I don't know. I always wanted to be a doctor, but I could never work inside the hospital because I've never really had an indoor job. When we was in the barbershop, we came and went when we wanted to. So it was like hanging out. Mm-hmm. And that night I went home and I said, I want to become a paramedic. Mm-hmm. And I found the class I was living in, because I had my apartment in Miami, and I was living in, and I found a paramedic, EMT course. Mm-hmm. I thought it was the same thing. I didn't know the difference. Yeah. And then, you know, I was flying during the week to New York to take my classes and come back. And then I asked the teacher, I said, yo, when we're going to learn about medications and giving needles? He goes, no, that's paramedic. You're EMT. I was like, well, then how do I become a paramedic? And again, and then the craziest thing, the night I won the Grammy that I won, the American Grammy, I took my final around 3 hours before my flight to go to LA because I was taking the red out. And I went, and the professor already knew that I was doing it. He was a Jewish dude, and he was into like freestyle, so he knew a little bit what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, what are you doing here?" Everybody used to say this, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing here?" It's like, "This is something I want to do, and I need the money."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was going through that divorce, bro.
Yeah.
And then I started running into a lot of people that I knew. Ralphie Boy Munoz. He was an EMT too.
Yeah, Redwind. You know he passed.
Who?
Redwind. From if we talking about the same person, he went to the fire department after a while as a medic. Yeah. He died in a motorcycle accident last year.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. He was a good brother, man. He was a good brother.
Definitely was.
Yeah.
So that's how come I ran into you. I think where were we in Mount Sinai?
Was it Deer or M-Star? No, you didn't come. You wasn't upstate.
Transcare. Was it Transcare?
Yeah, it could have been Transcare.
It probably was.
It was trash.
Trash care. Trash care. Some guys still owe us money for breaking out on us, man. They all broke out and left the whole ambulance crew. I mean, the whole ambulance
company fell.
Company. The lady just walked out, left us on the street, bankrupt us, just left all the units on the street. Now the fire department, was in control of the private sectors, which was Transcare, had to regulate Transcare now because nobody was there to regulate them. So it was crazy because we have a screen, right? On a screen it has where all the ambulances is at, right? So that day was so eerie because it was like, as soon as they finished whatever job they were doing, they got blanked off the screen. Bloop, they disappeared. Never seen them ever again. And it was going like that all afternoon. Soon as the guys or whoever finished with a job, and you look at the computer screen, boop, you don't see them no more.
Thank God we're here doing this music thing. Thank God we're doing this music thing.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it was a lot of our friends. You know, so that means when they disappeared, that's it. They don't work there no more. We ain't gonna see them no more, maybe, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they was just disappearing. Bloop, 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 bloop. It was crazy. But anyway, back to food for thought in the building, man. I'm gonna bring. All right, before I do that, I'm gonna bring my boy BK Pinky in the building. He's our new specialist. What's up, Pinky? What's up in the building, man?
What's going on? How y'all doing, fellas?
What's good, Pinky? What's happening?
Yeah, I know you was listening to the show. We got James the Barber. We have International Zoe in the building, man, and we're just popping it up.
It though, boy.
You remember the joint, right?
I remember that joint. I may be looking young. But
I'm from BK, they singing it from there. Yeah, man.
That's be my joint. This be my joint. Toss it up, all that. That's be my joint.
Yeah,
man. That's to be
video.
That's to be dancing too back in the days. So we used to do all that. That's good.
Yeah, man. Fellas, man. We got like 3 minutes left, and I got one question, man, for the both of you guys. Just what advice can you give aspiring singers or aspiring travelers or anybody try to pursue the career they're trying to pursue? James, you can start with James.
Okay. Two most important things about people around you. You can always tell a lot about a person by the 5 people he interacts with. So it's cool to bring your friends and everything around you, because I wanted to do that, and that was one of my mistakes, because those were the first ones that turned on me when I did hit. And those are the first ones that were like, well, you owe me money because I was there when you was. So, and that has become real prevalent in the hip hop game. Somebody's in the studio while you're recording now, they want some of the publishing because they told you if it was okay or not. So surrounding yourself around the right people is important. Having a plan, very important. Waiting for your opportunity. I was an overnight success. It took me about 5 or 6 years to be an overnight success. almost 10 years. You know what I'm saying? That's I say almost 10 years, but it wasn't. It was about 5-6 years to become an overnight success. Because as soon as you hit, they're like, oh, they came out of nowhere. They made it. They had it easy. Nobody knows when I stepped in the airports or in street parties. There was no
the
hotel.
struggle. They don't know the struggle.
They don't know the struggle. So and if you can't starve with someone, I always say that. If you can't starve with someone, they're not there when you're starving. They shouldn't be there when you're eating. Also, very important, it's just like an athlete. Athlete stays in the gym, working on their craft. They're not hanging out, drinking and doing that. Even though the hip hop culture is about drinking and smoking, a lot of the dudes that are successful in hip hop, they don't drink or smoke. It looks like they do, but they don't. So having the right frame of mind and dealing with the right people at the right time is important, because if you're not focused, when you do have to make that decision or do have to make that connect, that you stay focused. So keep working on your craft and wait for that overnight success, because opportunity got to meet preparedness, and then you're lucky. That's what good luck is.
Yes, sir. Big up. What you think, Kay? What
Kay, you there?
Oh, he's
Kay,
blinking.
Yeah, Kay in Colombia, Medellin. I tell you, that's international zone. Look, he thinking about it.
Kay,
he's on that Paisa Wi-Fi.
Kay, can you hear? Can you hear us?
Kay,
we gonna
cut you up, Kay. Yeah, you can't be out there with cricket, Kay. You can't be out there with cricket.
I don't think he hear you. Can you hear us, Kay?
No.
You hear us? Can you hear us, Kay? I don't think Kay.
It's chopping.
Oh, I got you. We got you now.
That's the Paisa Wi-Fi.
Hey, yo. Kay, Respect said you can't be all the way in Colombia with cricket wireless.
Now I can.
Yeah, that cricket wireless ain't working, man.
Yeah, he said cricket wireless ain't working, Kay.
He can't
killing him. He can't hear you.
No, I got good Wi-Fi. I got good.
No, you don't.
I got good Wi-Fi.
No, you don't.
He said, "No, you don't."
It's like breaking up.
All right, so we just wanted to try to get inspiration to anybody who want to do what you do, man, or
He can't hear you, Bishop. He going. Just talk, Kay. If you can hear us, just talk.
Blink 2 times if you can.
Yo, this is like the barber shop.
The number one thing is whatever you want to do in life, you got to do it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
See.
All right.
It's probably a delay.
I think so.
But I look good to myself.
There you go.
Frozen, but y'all are frozen.
We frozen? Oh, we frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
If y'all can hear me, I'm gonna just say it. Okay.
Yeah,
now y'all back. I would say if you want to do something. Yeah, y'all back. For me, y'all back.
Bishop, let him go.
Let him go, man.
Lord.
Yo, listen. Y'all got too much going on over there. I'll be over here doing lives and everything. I don't have no problems.
You be over there doing what?
Live, a lot. I do live.
Oh, I thought he said I'll be over there doing lines.
No. Live broadcast from the crib all day, every day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right,
it's all good. What I would say is, if you want to do something in life, like everything that I've done, the number one thing is to actually start doing it. And like they say, you miss every shot you don't take. So I think people think about doing things too much and they don't get to do it. Now, once you start doing it, I'll say get a mentor. No matter what you're doing, there's somebody who did it before you. Whether you're opening a barbershop, whether you was starting a record company, no matter what you're doing, there's somebody who did it before you, and you need to find a mentor. Like I tell my son, if you listen to me, you kind of got the cheat code to some of your life. Like you could miss like maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 times that you might bump your head if you have a mentor. You know what I'm saying? You could skip over that, so you got a cheat code.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important, if whatever you want to do in your life, number one is to take the action to do it. And number two, when you're doing it, find that mentor. You know,
That's it.
that's what I would tell.
There you go.
So I would like to thank you guys for being on the show, man. Kzo, International Zoe, it's been a pleasure, man. Always welcome back here on Food for Thought, man.
Yeah. Love you, brothers, man. We're gonna link up. I gotta give y'all a call. You know, I'm gonna give y'all a call. James, we gotta talk. K, you know, we gotta talk. So we'll do that.
James the Barba, my guy.
All right, man.
Hey,
Later,
I see
man.
you.
James.
Yo,
The Barber, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you, man, every time,
no,
man.
thank you.
I'm happy to see you, man. Nice and healthy and everything, doing your thing, man. Take care, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Be safe.
Be safe. Yeah, man. Peace, man. Yeah, later.